Hey guys, today I want to take you through my process for making repeat patterns. Now this is something that I've learned myself. I use Photoshop for doing it, and I'm going to show you the screen capture of me designing a pattern from scratch. Now I've not really planned this pattern, but it's been in my mind for a little while to do a pattern with butterflies and toadstools together. Obviously my business name is the Butterfly and Toadstool and I've never actually done this. So I thought while I was putting that together I would take you along and show you the full process so you can see how it's done. Starting with a blank document, I open the image files that I want to use for this pattern and duplicate them onto the blank document. I have already prepared these images by scanning the original artwork into Photoshop and removing the backgrounds, ready to use. I keep a mini library of all my artwork separated out like this into what I call elements. These elements are what I then use to create all my designs, whether individually or in repeat patterns like what I'm going to make today. When working on any design, I always want it to be the best quality possible. That's why each original element is so large. Working in large scale like this ensures each image stays clear and doesn't pixelate on the final product. In saying that, I still need to scale down the images when creating designs, or the final pattern files would be far too large. Pattern making is such a fluid process for me. I don't have any real rules and I don't work to a set procedure. Instead, I just play with the placement of each element and try to gauge the layout, space and colours by eye. I'm still learning different techniques and pattern layout styles, but I really enjoy every part of the process and feel most at ease and creative when placing patterns. Every pattern I make is a repeating pattern, which means that the design will repeat and join together seamlessly when the pattern block is repeated. To make a seamless pattern flow nicely together without any lines or obvious gaps around the edges, I use multiple different techniques to place the different elements in the block. As mentioned before, my pattern building process is very fluid. Sometimes I have an idea in mind, like a theme, colour scheme, or even a layout design already in my mind. And other times, like today, I just pick a bunch of elements that I like and try working with them. By playing with the layout and scale of each element, I try to get a feel for how I want the pattern to come together. Will it be simple with just one element repeating? Will it be large or small elements, or a mix of both? Will the elements be layered over each other or placed with spaces between them? A single or multi-directional pattern? There's so many things to explore with it. I'm always careful to keep a duplicate folder of all the original elements that I'm using for a particular pattern. That way, if I reduce the size of an element by too much and want it to be bigger again, I use a duplicate of the original image file rather than scaling the smaller element back up. This is because you can scale down images to any size without losing their quality, but scaling an image up will make it pixelate and become blurry. As I'm working through the build-up of a pattern, I sometimes feel like other or different elements could be added to complement the design, so I go back to my artwork library and pick some extra images to add in. Once I think I'm happy with the layout, I do a test of the repeat by building 4 blocks together. This allows me to see how the pattern has come together, and it highlights any areas that I need to adjust or change to make it flow better. Here I'm making little tweaks to fill any parts that I feel have too much white space. This could be by readjusting an element, resizing images, or adding new artwork like I'm doing here. This part of the process is a bit back and forth as I check the pattern again and again after each tweak has been made to see if I'm going in the right direction. Some patterns come together really quickly and others take more time, but I get a feeling for when it's finished and I'm happy with the overall outcome. You've been watching this at super speed, but I can assure you it's a longer process than it looks. This pattern in particular took me exactly 59 minutes and 8 seconds to complete. And we did it! I'm really pleased with the layout of this pattern and I love the balance it has between the butterflies and toadstools. Now it's time to experiment with colours, and of course always remember to save your work. Now that I'm happy with the pattern and different colourways I've chosen, it's time to test it out on product. Over the years I've made a lot of image mock-ups of my products, which allows me to place my finished patterns over items to see what they would look like as finished pieces. Here are some mock-up photos of what this pattern would look like on my wrapping paper, enamel and ceramic mugs. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below if you liked this video and found watching my process interesting. If you did, remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you're notified when I upload new content. Thanks so much for your time guys, bye!